Over the course of its existence, the United States Department of Agriculture has faced several pivotal moments, times when our direction and efforts could fundamentally reshape the lives of rural Americans, agricultural producers, our country, and the world. A pivotal moment when Abraham Lincoln established the department in 1862. A pivotal moment when Henry Wallace decided it was important to create better programs to support farmers during the Depression. A pivotal moment when Secretary Butz made the determination that in the early 1970s to move away from the supply side and supply management system that was in place during the New Deal and to establish an approach of fence row to fence row planting. And a pivotal moment today. We have the opportunity to decide if we want to continue on the path of, as Secretary Perdue once said, to get big or get out, or if we believe there's a better path forward. Do we want to continue to use a system that benefits the few, or do we want a system that will benefit all? At this pivotal moment, we must work together to create a system that works for our small, medium, and large-scale farming operations alike. In the past 60 years, American agriculture has responded to the call for greater productivity. The challenges of the past few years have highlighted anything. It's the resilience of American farmers, producers, and ranchers. They've met the moment by producing more to meet our needs and the needs of the world. But this has also led to larger farms and fewer farmers, and this has had an impact on rural America, a very important and key place in our country. Historically, there have been three ways for farmers to make money. They can grow crops and raise livestock or receive government support. This system is designed for the biggest farms to thrive. And despite record-breaking farm income in recent years, only 7.5% of our farms, roughly 150,000 farms, they received 89% of the income. So 92.5% of our farms are sharing 11% of the income. Now, this has led to a situation in which half of our farm households had negative farm income, and 89% of our farm families obtained the majority of their income from off-farm income sources. This leaves small and mid-sized farms behind, weakens local and rural economies, and threatens our food security and safety. In fact, since January of 1981, we've lost 437,000 farms and 141.1 million acres of farmland. We cannot let this trend continue. It's time for us to have a system that works for everybody, and that starts by creating value and opportunity for all producers and all communities. How can we change this? I don't believe the only option we have is to get big or get out. I believe there's a better opportunity for us to move away from the limited option where the focus is principally on productivity, toward a system that is productive, profitable, sustainable, healthy, and resilient for all Americans, not just the biggest farms. As a result of the work of the Biden-Harris administration and Congress passing the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the Inflation Reduction Act, along with the use of the Commodity Credit Corporation, we are now able to create a framework where other options are available for producers across the country. One that uses the market, climate, and food systems to create value for producers and gives all rural Americans the opportunity to succeed in the communities they love. I want to share with you today the steps we're taking at USDA to deliver on this vision. People look at the climate crisis and they see trouble. But at USDA, we see opportunity. The government and key stakeholders coming together on this issue, we can remove the risk from the marketplace and make climate-smart practices profitable for producers. Through the Commodity Credit Corporation, USDA developed the Partnerships for Climate-Smart Commodities program to encourage farmers to embrace climate-smart practices that offer a value-added benefit. USDA is investing more than $3.1 billion in 141 projects through this effort across all 50 states and several territories. This program expands markets for America's climate-smart commodities, leverages the greenhouse gas benefits of climate-smart commodity production, and provides direct, meaningful benefits to production agriculture, including for small and underserved producers as well. Farmers can earn extra income by taking on innovative, climate-smart practices and capitalizing on the bioeconomy, which will also create new, better-paying rural jobs. Now, some of the climate-smart projects involve converting agricultural waste into something more valuable. USDA supports bio-based products that remove waste, repurpose materials, and revitalize our rural economies by creating those new, good-paying jobs. Think sustainable aviation fuel. Now, this is a 36 billion gallon industry that doesn't exist today but needs to exist. Growing demand for aviation and marine biofuels and bio-based products is a major opportunity for farmers, And investments in electric utilities create a new outlet for farm-generated energy produced from solar panels and anaerobic digesters. We're giving farmers a significant amount of money to invest in practices and technologies that allows them to convert what happens on the ground into renewable energy. This reduces producers' costs and also creates new opportunities. USDA, we're creating incentives to rural cooperatives to transition from their fossil fuel generation capacity to more renewable sources. And any excess energy producers can have and can produce can be sold to these cooperatives. Now, there's also the opportunity to participate in ecosystem service markets. Now, when you measure, quantify, and verify the results of these climate-smart practices, there are market opportunities that are being created that will pay farmers for those results. Farmers earn extra income by taking on innovation and climate-smart farming practices that will enable them to participate in carbon and other markets, generating new sources of income. It's a brand new income source that didn't exist before. Fertilizer and other costs associated with doing business cause strain on our farmers, and we're looking for ways in which we can reduce those costs. We've invested in projects to increase or otherwise expand the manufacturing and processing of fertilizer and nutrient alternatives, and their availability in the United States. Now, this includes a $900 million initiative announced by President Biden to increase innovative, American-made fertilizer production. Boosting domestic fertilizer manufacturing and encouraging innovation in fertilizer technology reduces the high cost for farmers and protects them from unpredictable global markets. Local and regional food systems are also a profit opportunity. By growing local and regional markets, we can add value to our producers, enhance access to healthy, fresh foods in rural communities, and build a system that is resilient and can withstand the crises of our times. USDA has established 12 regional food business centers across the country to provide technical assistance to anyone who's interested in creating a farm-to-school, farm-to-grocery store, farm-to-restaurant, farm-to-hospital, farm-to-any institutional purchaser of food. These systems eliminate the middleman, lowering the cost of food and paying the farmer more because they can negotiate their own price. Our investments in WIC and the SNAP benefits, food banks and emergency food providers, child nutrition programs at schools and child care facilities, and programs like that can incentivize the purchase of local grown foods. These are also investments we're making for farmers who produce this food. Another way to expand market opportunities is to adopt value-added practices such as organic production. The challenge with organic is it's tough to transition. That requires a lot of financial, risk management, and market-based assistance, and that's why we've committed American Rescue Plan funding to our Organic Transition Initiative that's making it easier for those who are interested in transitioning to organic to be able to do so. Offsetting the cost for organic transition helps more farmers realize higher margins sooner while giving consumers more access to higher demand organic products. There's also an opportunity when it comes to processing capacity. Now, currently, the majority of the meat and poultry processing sector is dominated by the 4 largest processing firms in each market. Now, USDA is giving grants to create more market opportunities for producers. We're helping existing small and mid-sized processors to stay open, facilitate access to credit for these processors, and investing in the expansion of their processing facilities. Independent processing facilities help farmers and ranchers obtain fair prices, gives them options closer to the farm, and makes our food supply less reliant on a few large-scale processing companies. Now, as a major food buyer, the government is also uniquely positioned to play a role using federal resources, procurement, and food purchasing agreements to encourage spending in these areas. Federal procurement and food purchasing agreements are powerful ways to give small farms and food businesses a leg up and contribute revenue to their communities. Now, we can also use resources such as those given to us in the Inflation Reduction Act to begin looking at ways in which we can work more collaboratively with farmers, especially those small and mid-sized producers who do business with USDA. USDA's work is not just about farms and the people who work on them. It's about keeping businesses alive in small towns in rural America. It's about school children having access to healthy food grown in their own communities. And it's about protecting our planet from droughts and wildfires and natural disasters. It's also about America, leading the way in what it means to be sustainable, inclusive, a resilient place. And we're not trying to dismantle our current system. But as it is now, our agricultural economy benefits big businesses above all others. And that leaves small and mid-sized farmers behind. The Biden-Harris administration recognizes that there's a way for us to meet this moment for all farmers. And that means building a parallel system that adds value for farms of every shape, every size, and in every location across the country. The task ahead is a big undertaking, but it's a vital one that will require the cooperation of business, government, and everyone in between to contribute their time, their brainpower, and their resources to this work. We've seen what this system has done for the few. Now we must bring those benefits to the many.